Hello everyone and welcome to my Age of Wonders 4 guide. For the guide today, our racial traits. We're mostly going to be summoning units, so our racial traits aren't super important. I took Hardy, Herbivore, and Tough because I think these racial traits will give us a very strong early game. As for our culture, we're doing the Primal culture, and we're taking the Storm Crow as our animal. The Storm Crow gives us some extra mana, and more importantly, we get extra lightning damage from our Storm Crow buff. This build is going to be very heavy on lightning damage, so this is the best animal for us.
What defines their society?
For our society traits, I took Gifted Casters and Mana Channelers.
Choose your first tome.
The first tome will be the Tome of Cryomancy.
What is your
For our ruler,
teacher?
we're going to take the Eldritch Sovereign because why wouldn't you? It's really overpowered. But if you don't have the DLC, that's fine. It's not necessary for this build. You can just take the Wizard King instead. Okay, our first tome was the Tome of Cryomancy. This is a very good tome to start with because it gives a good summon, the Lesser Snow Spirit that we can use to expand early. We also get a Research Post Special Province Improvement, and we'll get some unit enhancements to do extra damage. Our next tome is going to be the Tome of Evocation. This will give us another unit enhancement and a unit enhancement for our support units. It will also give us the Lightning Torrent ability, and this ability will make the units in the enemy army have -3 lightning resistance. Our build is going to be heavily focused on lightning damage, so this is a good spell to use pretty much throughout the game if you're able to get it off on the world map. We'll also get another special province improvement to give us some mana. Our first tier 2 tome is going to be Tome of Summoning. We're mostly taking this for the Astral Serpent summon. This is going to be sort of our main front line of our army. We're going to be summoning Astral Serpents, and we're going to be supporting them with our racial support unit, which is the Animist here. It has a heal, and it can potentially even summon a animal. So we'll probably have like 3 Astral Serpents, a hero, and then 2 of the support units. We'll also get a heal that's pretty good. It can heal all Magic Origin units for 25 hit points. So this is a pretty strong spell for something you get so early. And you can also buff them with this spell. We get the Summoning Well, which is basically a conduit. And this Wisp Familiar spell is also pretty good. Our next tier 2 tome will be the Tome of Fey Mists. This tome will give us another heal on our support units. It will also allow our racial units to gain positive buffs when they're standing in obscured terrain. And we get a nice spell that can place mist clouds, which will give us Clinging Mist to make us more defensive if we're standing in them. Our first tier 3 tome will be Tome of Corruption. So this tome will give us Gloomstrider for our racial units, which will give them some extra defense, and they'll be able to eat negative status effects and heal from them. They'll also be floating and faster. This also, very importantly, gives Throne of Insidious Whispers, which gives 15 mana income, 20 both world map casting points and combat casting points. So this is great for like a summoning heavy build because we'll get more casting points to summon more. This Umbral Mistress is a very strong unit if you want to use it because you can Chain Mind, which is 120% base chance. And once you've Chained Mind, you can use Fury, which will give them Insanity for 3 turns. So this unit is incredibly strong against anything that is not control loss immune, like Constructs and Celestials. Our next tier 3 tome will be Tome of Amplification. This gives frenzying focus to our support units. It'll also give them Astral Blood for some crit chance and a Chain Lightning spell to do damage. We also get a special province improvement that's going to give us some more world map casting points and combat casting points. And we get a spell that increases our knowledge income slightly. First tier 4 tome will be Tome of Stormborn. We're mostly taking this tome for the Downpour and Lightning Storm spells. So these spells both can inflict Wet, and Wet will give -4 lightning resistance and -4 frost resistance. We have both Frost Blades, and we have Lightning Blades, and our Astral Serpents will be doing a lot of lightning damage by themselves, even without the buffs. And then we also have the Stormcrow boon, which also gives us lightning damage. So having this Wet status effect will increase our damage by a lot. We'll also have the Stormbringer unit. So these units have been nerfed quite a bit from their like extremely overpowered state in the last patch. But they're still pretty good, and I think they're still worth using. And since this build is mostly based off summoning, we're not really doing anything with the draft in our cities. So if you have the extra Imperium to afford tier 4 units, then you can go ahead and start building some Stormbringers. Our tier 4 tome will be Tome of Astral Mirror. We're mostly taking this for Mirror Veil. This unit enhancement was buffed in the most recent patch. Before, it used to only apply to shield units and polearm units, but now it applies to all types of melee units, including skirmisher units. So this will be working on our Astral Serpents and also on Stormbringers if you build them. And then for our Tier 5, there's obviously only one choice, the Tome of the Archmage. This will be giving us Cosmic Overdrive for our Magic Origin units like our Astral Serpents, giving them 30% extra damage at very fast movement. We'll also get 2 very strong spells, Time Stop and Disruption Wave. As well as we'll have Maximize Magic for our heroes. When you're leveling up your Eldritch Ruler, I'll leave the first point up to you, but for your second signature skill, I think that you should take the Tome of Pestilence. Since this build is so heavy on magic damage, the Tome of Pestilence will give us a bunch of spells that can inflict disease, which gives -4 resistance, making us do a lot more magic damage. And some of these spells even give Sundered resistance as well, so this will help us with our doing magic damage quite a lot. When we're leveling our heroes, we're going to be leveling them as mages, and ideally you will have a lightning weapon, either a lightning orb or a lightning staff. Or if you can't get lightning, frost is also acceptable. And also, when you're doing their signature skills, there's a specific signature skill that I want you to look for. It's Virulent Outbreak, and this gives in a 2-hex radius, enemies have a 90% chance of becoming diseased. And like I said previously, diseased gives -4 resistance, so it's going to be very good to put on the enemies. Alright, time to see how they do in battle. So we've got a bunch of Tier 3 Astral Serpents and some Tier 2 Animists, and we're against a bunch of Gold Golems, some Tier 4 Transmuters, and Tier 3 Bastions. So at the beginning of combat, something we can do is we can use the Spiritual Healing, because this gives 3 stacks of Rising Fury, and if we have 5 stacks, we can summon a Primal Crow. So we can use this at the very beginning of the game on our Ionists. And then they can use their Summon Primal Crow ability. And this thing only lasts for 3 turns, so we can just have it kind of like tank for us, I guess.